Good afternoon, YWCA friends, family, and mission squad that's tuning in. This is a special mini series of the Butterfly Effect where we will get to know our WCA board members together. This is series 3, episode number 5 of Butterfly Effect. If this is your first Butterfly Effect episode that you're tuning into, the YWCA NENY started this series about 2 years ago during the pandemic. It is an empowerment series where volunteers interview inspiring women in our community who will hopefully inspire you. So, for this special mini series, my colleague and I, Lauren, will be interviewing our newest board members. We will continue the series in November with some new hosts and guests with a focus on Homelessness Awareness Month and, of course, gratitude. So, without further ado, I would love to introduce our guest, our newest board member, Erica Twomey. The crowd goes wild.
Hi, yay!
We're so happy to have you here, Erica. And we're going to go into a
I'm so
couple of
happy to be here.
yes. We're going to go into a couple of questions to get to know you better so that we can, allow you for you to show us exactly who you are and for our audience to get to know you as well. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from and what do you do currently?
Well, I am originally from Long Island, Bayshore, New York, for anybody who is familiar with Long Island. I've lived in the capital region for about 7 years now. I came up for law school, and I am currently a lawyer for the Department of Corrections and Community Supervision for the state.
Wow, that is super amazing. So you're doing the great work of, keeping everyone safe, advocating and equity, which is really our mission. But I'm not going to get us ahead of ourselves. How do you balance between life and at work and home life? So what is your work-life balance like?
I would say a lot of it is scheduling oriented, which doesn't sound very balanced. But I found that for myself that if I don't make sure that it's okay, this Friday from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. I'm having downtime. I'm shutting off my phone. Nobody's allowed to see me. Then I'll just keep going. So kind of making sure I have that. Okay, on Tuesday, okay, I have this meeting from this time to this time. On Wednesday, I'm going to stay late at work to catch up on this, and this. But on such and such day, I'm going to do chores. And on such and such day, I'm relaxing. I do not exist to the world. That is what I find is helpful for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was on Instagram recently scrolling through my feed, and there was a meme that was like, attractive women make time for themselves, right? And it was like, yes, be attractive in a way of self-care. So that sounds like your self-care is balancing through your schedule and making it very clear what your boundaries are in terms of your me time and then your work time. That's
Absolutely.
super amazing. Super amazing. So we're gonna get into like some inspirational stuff. So can you tell me about a role model or a mentor that you've had in your life? And then elaborate with us on what kind of qualities did they have that inspired you?
Oh, well, it's definitely got to be my mom. I don't think she's watching because I didn't tell her I was even doing this today, but I will show her the video. And it's just 100% like that strength, that tenacity, that go for what you want that she instilled in myself and my siblings, speaking out for what you believe is right, not letting other people bulldoze you, not letting other people treat other people poorly, and just moving forward with that message. She modeled that for us through when she was at work, really advocating for herself and her coworkers through the union they were all in and trying to empower them to want to fight for themselves as well. That's just something she really instilled as well.
That is super cool. Your mother was in a union. I don't know if you've been keeping up with what's happening nationally, but union conversations are still a hot spot for organizations, and a lot of individuals post pandemic have been putting down the gavel and recognizing that there's more power in numbers. So I'm sure your mother shared that with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's super cool. Super cool. So this is where we get to like the fun question.
All
this
right.
is where this is where people really get to know, exactly what makes you what's your strategy, like how do you think? So if
Okay.
you were stranded on a deserted island, Erica, what three things would you want to bring with you and why?
Okay. So I would say, and I am not 100% sure like the second thing exists, but if I could have a Kindle with like a prepaid ability to just like buy whatever I need, a solar powered charger for that Kindle, and like to desalinate water, I'd be so good to go. Just give me things to read, a way to keep reading, and water to drink. Like I'm sure I could find leaves to eat on the deserted island. Like there's got to be something. So I'm happy.
That's super fun. That sounds simple enough to survive on a deserted island with all the things that you love, right? A nice glass of water that tastes good, and
Yes.
something great to read. That is so amazing. So, as we
Absolutely.
segue, that takes us into the next question, right? Because we got to hear what your strategy would be. So, tell us a little bit about what's something that's unique about you that you believe others should know.
I was so bad at these. It's like that fun fact kind of a thing. But usually people are kind of interested in like learning about my victim advocacy background and just like helping people previously before law school get orders of protection, and that was like a really fun experience. Something that if anybody out there is watching and wants to get into either as a job or as a volunteer position, like it is so well worth it. It is so rewarding and it's a lot of fun. Like don't, people get nervous. They're like, "Oh, it sounds sad," but it's a lot of fun too. Very rewarding, and that's always like the first thing I will go to and tell everybody, "Oh, this is what I used to do," even though it's been like 7, 8 years now.
Okay. Is there anything else?
um, oh my gosh, this one's hard. I've been boring. Like, I got into embroidery over the pandemic, so maybe that as well. That is my latest hobby. That a lot
Yeah.
of people are like, okay, didn't realize you turned into a grandmother for the pandemic, but I did. I've embraced the embroidery and tea life, and I love it. Give me a cardigan, I'm happy.
That sounds amazing. Guys, we might have to send a cardigan her way so she can embroider some things for us. Put that talent to good use. That's super cool. And I know a lot of people grabbed on to wrap themselves in a lot of hobbies during the pandemic. It was the best way for us to, deal with being locked up in the homes. And anyway, we're not going to go back there. I'm not going to go back into a traumatic space, but that's pretty cool that you like to do embroidery.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
lot of fun. Very relaxing.
Is it? Okay. So maybe we need to have a course.
Okay, yeah, that would be great. A little embroidery circle. Oh, I love it.
I love it too. So tell us, where do you draw your inspiration from, especially getting through a tough day? What gives you that oomph to keep going?
My friends, absolutely. I have two friends in particular. I know them from my victim advocacy days. Actually, we've been in a group chat for years now. I'm living upstate. My one friend is down, still on Long Island. My other friend is living in the city. So we're kind of triangulating the whole of the state. And now we're all doing different things. We're in different career fields, and but just having those similar core values but different perspectives on it, it's we're able to talk each other through, provide that new perspective, that kind of okay, well, did you think of it this way? Why this is maybe an opportunity rather than a disappointment or a frustration, or even if it's like that validation, like okay, no, this is absolutely awful, but keep going. This is it's only temporary. Keep going. So we all help each other with that a lot.
Having a good circle of friends imperative to your own mental, emotional, and physical health. So that's really
Absolutely.
amazing. Yeah. So, can you name a significant event in your life that has shaped you into who you are today?
Going back to like the victim advocacy thing, I know this is, you're going to be like, we get it. This is what your life was. This is,
No,
but
that's super.
there was one client in particular that I worked with back in the day that I just did not appreciate how she was treated by some of the legal professionals.
Mhm.
And seeing what happened with her case and how she was treated, sitting there doing the advocacy, and I was like, people deserve better than this. Like, this is, how do these people have such little empathy for somebody who is going through such a traumatic event? And so that is what inspired me to apply to law school. That's what inspired me to apply to Albany Law in particular, because they do have a lot of great family violence, domestic violence related clinics. They're really a great public interest school. So that's kind of what inspired me in law school. That's how I wound up upstate. That is how I really wound up on the board. Just that passion for that cause, that domestic violence and empowering people and fighting against people who are trying to be dismissive of those who are in help. And so I would say that was probably the main catalyst in my life.
I love it. Yeah, it's super hard when you're in human services or you are a servant by nature and you see others being mistreated. It can significantly shape the way that you do your work, and I think that that's super inspirational, and that's something that we can all take with us. So thank you for sharing that. So my
Thank
last
you.
question, my last question to you is: when you hear our mission, eliminating racism and empowering women, tell me about how you and the YW are making an impact in these areas, or how you plan to, because I know that you're a new board member. So,
Right.
just elaborate for us.
Um, I would say through a lot of it is through education and programming, like teaching people, first of all, what even is equity. Like, this is a newer term that's kind of come to the forefront, and a lot of people don't really understand the concept of equity, meaning giving people what they need to succeed in life rather than giving everybody exactly the same thing, because they're thinking equality, like, oh, everybody should be the same. But the truth is, not everybody is starting in the same place, so it wouldn't make sense to do one size fits all. So, kind of engaging in that conversation, engaging clients in what that is, shareholders in what that means, teaching people new skills, education, job services, just to really be able to be more independent, but also be able to feel secure and supported by a community. So it's like I can be independent with all this strength behind me, and I love that.
Super cool. Are there any final thoughts that you would like to share with our community?
Uh, just that I am absolutely thrilled to be starting on the board. I'm very excited to see where this goes and what we're going to do over the next few years. This is, I think, a really great time to be in public service. There's a lot of up and coming ideas. There's a lot more social engagement, ways to reach people. So I am really excited to see where we go and how we grow.
We are so honored to have you on our board, Erica, and thank you for giving us some of your time to interview you and get to know you better.
Oh,
So,
thank you for
guys,
having me.
yes, yes. So, guys, thank you for joining us today. And we encourage you all to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our YouTube channel for all of our latest episodes and any updates that are happening in our community. More ways for you to get involved and more ways for you to donate. We thank you for your time and we hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks again, Erica.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.